Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. This show is
Super Kick!
Let go! Let go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the way for that.
No.
This life is going great! Let's go!
She's healthy.
Let's go!
Is she healthy?
Yeah!
Apparently she's back.
Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday night edition of the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. Things are getting interesting. I've been in the workhouse all day trying to get some streams put together here. Got a whole new stream package coming up here, hopefully in the next week. But so much news going down the pipe, so many things going on, and so much activity. Like, it's been crazy these last 4 days. Like, All Out was amazing. Let's not even cut corners here on that. All Out, an absolutely amazing show. How are y'all doing? I'm getting a little flustered. I'm getting a little all over the place here. How y'all doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. We're going to try the 2K again here tonight. I made a few adjustments to the stream. So hopefully we can run in 2K both on Twitch and on YouTube without any hiccups. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Tonight we got an absolutely amazing card. Hey, Zodiac, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope work was good for you. I am on I guess it's day 1 of my vacation here. Well, vacation from shoot job. So basically been all day. I've been in front of this computer for most of the day here. I'm about halfway done the new setup for the stream here. So, and of course, this is the one that's got to go last. So, unfortunately, yeah, the wrestling stream, I should, if everything goes well, I have it done by Saturday for you guys. Just tinkering with a few things, trying to get them all fixed up, trying to make them look good. And yeah, just trying to make things better, unlike a lot of things going on in wrestling right now. Ooh. For those that haven't heard the drama lately, well, between, what do we got here? We got Kenny Omega and Gail Kim going on. You got Jey Uso, who's got his head completely split in. You got Katsuyori Shibata, who we found out is injured after the attack on Garcia. And we got a lot of craziness planned here for tonight. There's a lot of different topics we can get into, and I don't even know which way to go on this to start off, to be perfectly honest with you. Best thing I can do right now is give you a rundown of what's going on card tonight. Like, some of the announcements that's come out over the last hour, absolutely freaking nuts. Just straight up nuts. Sorry, just got to take care of Spotify here. It keeps running here. Yeah. All right. So I mentioned Shibata's injured. And Shibata was supposed to take on Claudio Castagnoli, the Death Riders, tonight. Unfortunately, that match won't happen. But in Shibata's place is Powerhouse Hobbs. So, yeah. Meat. We got a little bit of beef in that ring there for that match. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's also, because Shibata's injured, apparently it was supposed to be a trios match between Gates of Agony and Ricochet versus the Ops for the trios titles, but because of everything worked out the way it did, the Gates of Agony are going to be taking on Brodito for the 2-on-2 tag titles tonight. So you don't get a tag title match on one, you get a tag title match on the other. I guess it works out. And then we're also getting Mark Briscoe, Hologram, and Person to be Named. I believe this is what gives it away. Against Hichisaro, Takeshita, and Kazuchika Okada. Myself personally, it looks like we might end, and I'm pretty excited about this. What if we get, aka Orange Cassidy, let's just call a spade here. we get Orange Cassidy taking on Kazuchika Okada in his return program because he wants that international title, which is part of the unified title, right? So that that very well could be a thing here. It's just going to be nice to see Orange back in general. But the other match that got announced, and very interesting how this would be the first title defense for Stat, but Kris Statlander going to be defending the AEW Women's Championship against Mina Shirakwa. So they're doing a face-face here, which might not be a face-face. Sorry, chat, I'm a little dark here, so I'm just lighting things up a little bit. I don't want to be sitting here in the dark tonight, so. Yeah, that's going to be a fun match. I don't know if they got anything else booked for tonight. Oh, except for the huge announcement. What do we all think it's going to be? I want you guys to give me your 2 cents about what's going to be going on tonight for the big announcement coming up. The main consensus feels like it's going to be the tag titles or a C2. I don't know if it's going to be either or. I'm thinking tag titles might make the most sense for all the groups that have been going together. So, could that be a case? Could they say we're going to include ROH stars in it as well? It very well could work out like that, right? So, could be either way. Could be a positive, negative. Depends on which way you go here. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. On the outside chance they announce a brand new show. Maybe Shockwave is something that comes to realization here. So who knows at this point? We could be all over the place here. But yeah, time for Dynamite to fire up. You guys get ready. Everybody grab your popcorn, grab your snacks. I got a brand new mixer bottle. If you guys aren't familiar with Astrobot, well, this is sort of an 8-bit tribute to Astrobot. GGSubs.com. I think it's the women's tag titles, but wrong. Hey, you know what, Jay Quick? Everybody has a democratic right to be wrong. I would laugh so hard if the big announcement's Britt Baker. Or if Britt Baker becomes the new commissioner of the women. Could you imagine that? Main event. Baker's coming back. Baker's coming back tonight. Chat. Statlander retains. Baker comes in to attack. And that's where we go with that feud going forward. What other way can we go here? Like, this stuff just adds up way too well. Why would you put the women, like, with all due respect to the women, of course, you know. I appreciate Statlander. I appreciate Shirakawa. I think they should main event. But that match this week in Pittsburgh, with the expectations as the frick? Hangman and Lee Moriarty? Tony Khan, let's just throw a name out there. Let's go. I love this. I love this by Kyle. He's just straight up balling here. Okay, so Moriarty's a home ground guy, so that makes sense. I love that it's an open challenge like that. Okay, so we got Brodito right off the bat here tonight. I didn't recognize the screen or the team to they just got the brand new one at the pay-per-view, right? So Ricochet didn't want to work anyway tonight, you know. It is Pittsburgh, it's Wednesday, he's got to flaunt the new shirt. Is he not going out there with him? Oh, I was going to say, there is no way Ricochet's not going out with them tonight. I find it really, like, do we see the Hurt Syndicate out here tonight to go get a little bit of pound of flesh off of what happened? There's a lot of ways to go with this, with Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. Like, they put out a hell of a performance. But I almost feel like this is where you have to bring out the Hurt Syndicate just to get a receipt. Not that Brodito needs a team to bail, quote-unquote, bail them out in this situation, but Brodito! I'll be honest, I got hoodwinked on this. I honestly thought the titles were getting changed. They're literally just showing the stills of the preview part. They're not showing the actual collisions. This is hilarious. If you want to see it, buy the pay-per-view. Oh, man. So is Danielson on the desk too tonight? Looks like it might just be Taz and... Oh, no, Danielson's hiding over there, so it's been a little quiet as things go along here. Thoughts on the situation with Slamovich? Well, the one thing I can tell you as part of a fact about the whole thing is Masha's no longer coming to Edmonton for this weekend. I pretty much think that's a guarantee. With Top Talent Pro Wrestling just announced that they're getting rid of that match. They replaced it with a different one, the one that Masha was supposed to be involved in there. So it looks like they're just getting Nick Nemeth. TNA hasn't put an official statement saying that they pulled her from the match. And this is probably one of the problems that TNA is going to have with the fact that they're pre-taped. They're, like, tomorrow's episode of TNA Impact is already in the can. It's ready to go out. If there's anything involving Masha and Ash by Elegance, you got to find some way to panic fill that somehow. And once again, that's just one of the things that sucks about it. Oh, yeah, Ember's company did. A couple others did. You can't touch domestic violence with a 10-foot pole. I don't want to jump to conclusions. It seems pretty obvious what the answer is, but as far as I'm concerned, let it play out. But as a company, it's just smart. You got to pull back. There's nothing saying that you can't go back if everything's cleared up. Like, let's face it, if the allegations are found to be untrue and there's no issue with it, you can always bring somebody back as another talent. So I'm on the boat of most likely it happened, but it's not really for me to judge whether it happened or not. The only thing I'm wondering about, and maybe you guys that watch TNA can help me out here a little bit. Can you tell me what the main event's probably going to be now, since the women's title's not there? The one thing I'm most disappointed about is the fact that probably one of my favorite wrestlers in TNA right now is not going to be part of the show now, because Indy Hartwell is scheduled to be the referee for that match. Now I was hoping that I get a chance to see her on the show. Be nice to see live. But big chance for Moriarty tonight, absolutely. And it's nice to get these open challenges in too, right? Like, but no, Jay Quick, I appreciate the question, and I really do. I do feel for everybody involved. And if she is guilty, I hope they deal with it to the maximum resolve that they can. But frankly, like, for all of us, just let it live. Let it work. Let it work out. One thing we can prove, and we definitely proved it this week with everything going on. If there's something you don't like in wrestling, turn around and cough 3 times. You'll find something else that works just fine. My God, Brody. So I'm hoping with the 2K stream, I'm a little more caught up to you guys in terms of time-wise. Oh, these big shots coming in. What part of the show? I think he's... Well, it all depends. And in my opinion, probably where it goes is at the 7 o'clock mark, or sorry, the 1 hour mark, I think is the best way to put it. Right at the top of the hour. The reason you do that, it's an old-fashioned technique from TV. You always make sure the top and the bottom of the hour, especially the top of the hour, has something that's going to grip viewers. And if you announce that you're going to put your big announcement at the top of the hour, it makes the most sense, because the majority of people who are channel surfing will be able to stop and check things out. And then from there, you just put some kind of exciting match on, which, well, let's face it, most of the roster does that. You either do that, or if it's directly related to the women's championship, maybe a new. If it ends up being a C2, you announce it right before the main event. If the main event tonight is Statlander and Shirakawa, like they said, I got to feel we do that major announcement right before the main event. If it's a C2 main event, if it's anything else, top of the second hour. And yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of things going on, because wouldn't it be crazy right now if they actually did pull off the Fox show and get 1 hour of Shockwave? Because that would set off a lot of, well, let's face it, it set off a lot of people regardless. You could say that AEW is closing and a whole bunch of people would still shout off saying that they're here for too long. But, yeah, just watching everything that's going on in this situation, it feels like the tag titles are just the right thing to do there. Secretly, it's a combo of Shockwave, Dark, and Rampage. Don't forget ROH. Put all 4 together. And I wonder what you could do maybe. If you don't think the announcement's going to give you the pop that you want, and I just saw it on the screen, you go from the announcement straight to the Orange Cassidy debut. Or return. Sorry. For a better way to put it. The return there. For me, that would make a lot more sense. And I don't know, like personally, I feel that AEW is just such a good spot right now that you literally could put it anywhere and it would work out. Good evening, Mr. Nats. I hope you're doing well as well, sir. Been having a real fun day today. Got 2 different directs got to watch today. Capcom Spotlight and a PlayStation State of Play. We'll talk about more of those tomorrow. Just a hint, folks, if you haven't seen it yet, the new Wolverine game that's coming out makes Mortal Kombat look like a children's game in terms of the art direction that they went. So, yeah, if you're a fan of blood, guts, and gore, yeah, Wolverine's gonna do it for you. That's for damn sure. Like I said, we'll get into more of that tomorrow during our Horizon stream here, but because I got a little bit of a beef with oh, that's okay, Jay Quick. Sorry. I'm thinking odds are it's a tag titles. If it's a C2, it'll be announced right before the main event. And then if it ain't that, then it might be a third show. Because I think Tony's learned long enough that these big major announcements need to be big major announcements. Gave All Out a 7 out of 10 middle of the road pay-per-view by missing your main staples like Ospreys. Fair enough. I think it was about 9. I would give it an 8.5 personally. Thank you, Michael, for the compliment. Appreciate you over on the YouTube channel there. Always great to see everybody popping it on both mediums, as we call them. So don't remember, I'm hoping we get these 2K streams up on both sites a little more consistently here. But, in terms of All Out, when we were watching it here, and I think a lot of people will agree, like, feel free to throw something at me here if you want. But Zodiac and I, like we discussed after at the end of the show there, first half of the card was outside of the fun time of the opening match and the pop they got for Eddie Kingston, it was somewhat mid for the first half of the show. The second half of the show bailed it out. So a 7 is fair. I would give it a little bit more of an 8. And I think it gets a little bit more bias for me because I watched the other show after. You know, when you watch something very mid, you tend to score the thing that isn't mid a little higher. Anticipates like anticlimactic. Any ideas? Maybe they're moving. You know what could be the blockbuster that could drive everybody absolutely freaking nuts and drive the internet crazy? Starting next month, Collision moves to Thursdays. Could you imagine? Sign Goldberg.
No, please, no.
Oh, he definitely ain't going there. Palooza, I won't say was complete ass. I enjoyed somewhat of the mixed tag match. I felt it was more of a... I think there was more for it. Brett versus Goldberg. Where is it?
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
It's either that one or you're getting this one or the other. Or, you know what, just as a triumvirate? We'll do that one too. The announcement. Oh, God. You know what? One of these times we should get together. We should just book the worst match ever. Worst card ever. Just 5 minutes. 5 to 10 matches. Just straight horrible. horrible match. Sting versus Luger versus Flair, Wrestle Dream 2. One guy can't walk, one just had a heart attack, and while Sting doesn't want to wrestle anymore. That would be, yeah. And yes, I'm fully aware that Hogan has passed there, by the way, Zodiac. I'm trying to play it out as, you know, we talk about everybody that's alive, everybody as they're alive here, so. Happy Rosh Hashanah for those in chat. Absolutely. It is a very special week for a lot of people this week. For the record, I put it in the title. Birthday's Friday, if you guys are wondering. Just threw it out there. I don't know if I'll be here Friday because I will be at the TNA pay-per-view. I might try and get on earlier in the day. We might go a little early on Saturday just to hang out. Let's put a 2-hour promo, The Ultimate Warrior, trying to figure out what he said. Nice. Hey, you know what? I don't mind that at all. Aubrey's got to work on that. Aubrey has got to work. Narrated by Mark Briscoe. Oh, I thought Brodito did. I thought Bandito did the. See, the crowd's got to get into this properly. It's piebald. Really? Oh no, there's Brody. My God, the sense of timing on Brody King there, just absolutely amazing. Like, you notice there was no hesitation about him getting in the ring. He knew exactly the time that it would take to get in there for that. Oh my God. That's how you get rid of a team. Get the big guy to go for a dive. The other one gets the 21 plex. So chat, give me a heads up here. How like right now I got Bandito and Brody hugging. How far ahead am I for you guys? Had the pleasure of helping out a rabbi at work. Great conversation. Could also talk his head off. Well, that's what they do, right? I want to see if I can find some way where I can get this closer to you guys so we're a little bit more in cohesion. I just love the fact that Statlander's getting a main event first night as champion. Just made, okay, so I'm still about a minute ahead of you. Damn. I love how he's trying to get everything over. I'm trying to enjoy everything because of 13 days. Double. Why would they do double? Why don't they just do one at a time? So I guess you're not going to be seeing anything for a couple weeks. Out of work for 2 weeks. Damn. All right, yep. Mr. Obvious here. I'm going to try to squeeze that juicy information. Orange, you glad you saw me? Willow could just laugh at the whole thing because she laughs all the time anyway. Hologram. Jane. Clone activated. These guys are trying to milk it for what they can, but duh. I don't mind these. Like, this is it's funny because when it comes to AEW, we sort of give them a little benefit of the doubt about these. We know we know they're coming, but they're not coming, or they're. You won't say it, but we know who it is, kind of deals. Because if you think about it, last week, well, what, 2 weeks ago, WWE had one of those. And everybody's like, oh my God, is it going to actually happen? Blah, blah, blah. And here, we all know what's happening. We're just making sure we show up. When CM Punk had his, we know he was there, so we're just going to make sure we're getting the tickets for it. Because if that was the case, there was no way they were going to sell out the United Center for that show. Could you imagine other timelines? It's the multiverse. We talk about this stuff. Come on now. What if, and this would be a great what if the United Center got sold out for the first dance and it ended up not being CM Punk that showed up? I think even if it was a Will Ospreay that showed up, it would be a monstrous detriment to the company in so many ways. Here, Chad, help me out with this. What event, if you're hyping up the first dance that way you are, that's going to be such a monumental show, who would you bring in there to make it worthwhile if it wasn't CM Punk in that situation? Who would you consider to be one of the great people for that? It'd be very tough. AJ Styles, yeah, that would be a phenomenal pick. Yeah, because originally even the Good Brothers and AJ were going to sign, but apparently AJ balked, or some other correlation of something there happened. So could it be an Ospreay? Maybe. I think you'd have to get somebody who was established in WWE to sort of counter that. It'd be so hard. Like, they were caught between such a rock and a hard place, but we all knew who it was going to be there. So I don't think it was pretty much a misnomer at the time. So but yeah, there's a lot of wrestling what ifs. And yeah, there's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of good ones as we go forward here. So, and yeah, and for a while, Punk was a good boy. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, with everything going on, I guarantee you everybody at AEW is not working well together either. Oh, Renee looks like she was going to ready to punch Charlie there. Really? Renee, go ask your husband what the association is. Oh, this is a title match. Son of a bitch. Pardon my French. I thought it was just a qualifier, not an actual title match. Interesting that they would put this on second instead of putting the champ on the start of the show. Maybe it's because the last thing we saw for AEW was Hangman holding the title high, and then you just got him right back in the ring. I know it's a bad habit I get into in 2K25. Whatever main event of the show usually opens the next one. Which, by the way, once again, if anybody's interested, which you all should be, make sure you stop by or stay on our Twitch channel after the show, as we are going to be finishing up our online My GM Season 2. Got Zodiac in the chat, HPC Bad Guys messaged me earlier, say he's ready to go. PJC, well, he pops in and we play by ear. He's usually pretty much ready to go. Everybody else is, so. If not, we'll still get through this here. I want to get through Season 2 no matter what. You like the fact that they're doing a full promo pack on Lee Moriarty as well. And the fact that other champions are getting a shot at the title, actually, it reminds me a lot of that Option C that they have in TNA, where the X Division champion can cash in his title for a title shot against the main championship. They haven't used that in a long time, but so I almost wonder. And sorry, I'm jumping topics here for a quick second. I wonder how much of the NXT roster is going to get across to Canada for the pay-per-view tomorrow night, or Friday night, sorry. This is going to be a full face-on-face match. This is going to be a lot of fun. Even though Moriarty's an overly heel and everywhere else, we are in the middle of Pittsburgh Bizarro world. Yeah, Lee actually getting a shot at the world title. The only thing that would make this really cool is the fact that Hangman says he's the best at everything. Make this a pure rules match. Could you imagine? I do think that Hangman Page is a former pure rules champion from years ago, like that early rendition of Ring of Honor. Sorry, just getting a few messages popping in here all over the place here, so. But once again, everybody, just taking a quick sec here. Just thank you to everyone for coming by here. I know I'm going to have a little bit more of a sappy message coming up on Friday, Saturday. I always do that on my birthday, just what I got put together here. But without you guys, this would be a completely boring escapade. And watching wrestling is always better with friends. Very tech. So they basically have turned it into a technical match to start off anyway. I like this. As you can see, the awkward silence. Clap, 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 clap. Just declared not a pure champion. Oh, it was retired 06. Okay. I thought it was earlier than that he was there. Okay, no, thank you for checking that out, Jay Quick. I do love the fact check department coming in here. And I do mean that seriously. I'd rather get everything out straight, and I know I got expert checkers all over the place here. When I saw that Hangman is having his open challenge for the world title, and he said he wanted to challenge the best Pittsburgh would get, I thought first, don't tell me Britt Baker's going to... I actually, FaZe, I'll be perfectly honest, I thought that as well. First thing I thought of when he said that promo, he said he wanted to challenge the best, my comment would have been, yeah, but Britt Baker, unfortunately, is not available, right? So, I'll be frank with you, FaZe. Because of where they are, because of what the main event is tonight, I do totally expect to see Britt Baker show up at the end of this. Either that or Stat fully joins the Death Riders, one or the other. Danielson was the last pure champion. That makes perfect sense. Nobody can ever beat him, so why keep the title around? Like, that was a lot more fundamentally smart in some ways. Like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate 2-3 year title reigns. But if you know that you've run your roster and then there's just nobody to beat, it almost makes it almost pointless to have the title. Unified the title after he beat Knight, that's fair. That's right, that was one of the 2 unification matches they did. The other one was the dual ROH title match between... it was Bandito and Jonathan Gresham. Where Gresham ended up winning the original ROH title at the final ROH show because Bandito couldn't make it due to COVID protocols. So once Bandito was better, they had a unification match. And Bandito ended up winning that, I do believe. But no, Bandito's going to be an absolute... Like, it's funny because we all talk about the issues that, you know, failures that other companies have had. And the biggest failure that you see in other companies is the fact they always had the same guys at the very top. Which, personally, some of these injuries, while, let's face it, we want everybody to get together, everybody to feel better, everybody to be 100% shape. The fact that some people are injured and other people are going to have to step up in those higher roles could be the best thing for AEW, period, right now. For the fact that they have to elevate other people into those roles and the product doesn't get stale with the same guys on top year after year. And you don't have to think about putting a Brody's excelled. Yeah, like, so Chad, tell me this. Like, your top 3 people that you feel have stepped up into that higher level. I'd almost be very confident in putting Brody and Kyle Fletcher in 1-2, whichever order you want to put them in. But who would be that third person on the men's side? I know the women have a different level here, a different standard, and I think everybody stepped up a lot. But who would be your number 3? Because I have to think about that quite a fair bit. Like, MJF was already there. Paige was the original. Brody, Fletcher, Hobbs. You got Hobbs in the 3. I like that. If it wasn't for injury, I think Hobbs would be a lot higher up on the card than what he is right now, besides being a champion. Big shout out to Wardlow. I feel the same way about him, except you sneeze at him the wrong way, he gets injured for 4 or 5 weeks. I joke about it, but in all seriousness, I do hope that he gets better soon. I hope just like with Jay White, I hope that the injury, like, he ended up getting another. I think he got social. If you're talking about Wardlow, yeah, he wrecked his shoulder in that first moment where he came out with the Callis family and attacked Prince Nana. He literally got injured, so he's out. Yeah, that's why somebody sneezed at him the wrong way. Think Moriarty could be the next big? Absolutely, he could. Yeah, like apparently Tony Khan refutes it, but it made a lot of sense. It looks like Wardlow was supposed to be getting a little bit of a push and heading towards this time of year to possibly getting. Yeah, that's what we're asking here, Zodiac. We pretty much confirmed that Brody and Fletcher would probably be 1 and 2. Also wonder who would be the 3. I wonder if Ricochet was already there. But he did elevate himself to another level, so that makes a lot of sense, too. But here's the fun part. Fletcher is one with a bullet. Absolutely. Like, I know you're not the biggest fan of Brody, but is that a new oh, that's a new shirt for Statlander. Okay. I do like the artwork on the new Neutron and the new shirt for Stat, but Brody's talented and it's over, yeah. But it just makes you wonder, who would you put at number 3 in that spot? And the fun part is we can all have different answers and we all can be right. And that's the advantage that AEW has right now, that everybody is like, there's so many that are there. Reverse the Deadeye into a friggin' abdominal stretch. Let's go. Hangman's in trouble. Put Hobson Takeshita over Brody, to be honest. Yeah, that's fair. No, that's what we're saying here. Like, you don't have, like, we didn't even bring up Takeshita, that whole thing, which I didn't realize this. He's not waiting till Wrestle Kingdom to get the title shot. October 13th. Takeshita's taking on the the IWGP World Champion from NJPW. Whoever it is. Takeshi's about to blow. I think as soon as he turns face, that's when he blows up. It might even happen tonight. Like, myself personally, I think we're going to be focusing more on Orange versus Okada more than anything else. But that Takeshita tension that's going to be there, it's bubbling and ready to go. Speedball Dark Horse, hey, it's just new. He's just new, that's all. Really? So I guess this is a way to write off Cope for a few months. I'm going to be honest here, and this is like all the rumors that are adding up here. My opinion, what I think is going to end up happening here, and I think a lot. If you read the scuttlebutt, you'll hear about this already. So bear with me here. The big talk is about 2027. The fact that WrestleMania is not going to be in North America. It's not going to be in Western Europe. So fans are pissed. Fans want something different. TK during that media call, and I actually watched most of the media call. I had Netflix on my TV and YouTube on my TV. Or sorry, Netflix on my monitor, YouTube on my TV. So, Tony Khan very specifically said he loves Toronto. He wants to come back for another show. He loves the amount of attendance he got here. He loves the energy. And the spring of 2027 is a real great time to be a wrestling fan. It appears that they might be working towards Revolution being held at the Rogers Center for AEW, and that possibly could be Copeland's last match. The place where he got his inspiration to become a wrestler, he could have his final match in. As far as I'm concerned, that's absolutely insane. Let's hope that, he stays healthy enough to be a part of that. So, but, and I will mark this down. If by some chance they agree to have AEW at the Rogers Center spring of 2027, I will make an effort to actually fly out to a show for the first time. I drive the local shows. I don't fly anywhere for a show, but that one I would make an exception for. Because, stick it in Canada, of course. But in terms of this feud going on right now, makes me wonder really which way they're going to go for this right now. Because Nick Wayne is working on getting his way back. He's not going to be back to the new year at least. FTR taking out Beth, and now they're probably going to lay out Christian again. Christian's going to be by himself for the next while, or else he's going to find some weird manifestation put together. Could you imagine Jurassic Express coming out to help Christian in this case? Like, that would be some levels of what the hell, to put it politely. As we come back from commercial break. Ah, yes. Good job, Shivani. Just pile it on here. Think we see Jurassic? I don't know. Maybe we see him on Saturday. Because it almost feels like they might be a Saturday team. And I think Jack Perry would love it just to stick it to the person who caused all the problems to him. Because that was technically his show. This whole crowd hates FTR. And that's what they want. Now it makes me wonder, like, if I was Shivani, I'd just pass over the mic and get out of the ring, because it's funny how AEW is doing their videos now, because they're not allowing any clips up of the full thing. I just get the hell out of the ring. If I was Shivani, why would I be there? Kept him up at night partying. Ha! Nope, not at all. Ah, this crowd's already into the chant. Of course, he's gonna blame Adam for bringing out his own home wife. Which, fair in some ways, but not really. I forgive what she did to me in the past on the phone. Uh-oh. Introducing, yeah. I love how they quickly transition to a no hose chant. Congrats to Cody for being named number 1. Yeah. Another accolade for Mr. Rhodes. I'll be honest. A few years ago, I gave up on it just because I really do hate doing number lists. Despite the fact I'm working on one right now. Should have it done up in the next couple days here for you guys over on the YouTube channel. Sorry, Jay Quick had to approve that word. I love the fact that he will not apologize. He will not apologize. I think we all agree he should get those broken a few more times. This is such BS. Accident. Wow. 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 Willow? Whoa. Wait. Time out. Time out. What? Willow? Chat, you got any correlation on this? Other than the fact that Stokely's going to die? Willow, atta girl. Congrats to Jelly Roll being 38. Now you never, that's exactly it. Like, that's why I don't take matters into those lists. So technically, every wrestler underneath Jelly Roll has a sub 500 record, apparently. A broken freaking neck. It's not just a broken neck, it's a broken freaking neck. Nice. 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 Are we going to get an intergender match? Like, this feels like this is where we're going. This really does have that feel. Stokes gonna get a hoe with a smack. My God, that was great. Tony, get the frick out of the ring already. Ooh. I'll take this. This is something I will take. This will be a lot of fun. Dax tried to sneak in there and just ate it. Oh, Will almost got a hold of Stoke. All right, well, there's a random pairing that, you know, if you're not going to have Christian or Cope interact with these guys for a while, Jet Speed is a hell of a second prize right now. Jet Speed FTR, let those guys run a few weeks. We get them at Wrestle Dream, yes, please. Uh-oh, MJF promo coming up. Let's go. I love how they're solidifying Jet Speed is legit. Absolutely. I love this promo. Wow. Okay. Oh my fucking god, he ate attack. Yeah, well, he's filming another movie, right? So, yeah, looks like we lost MJF for a while too. It almost feels like we might be doing that. We might end up doing that at like getting MJF a month off here. Let him go through Wrestle Dream. Even hell, make him come back at the C2. Folks, did I mention that we're gonna do the tag at the Orange Cassidy reveal top of the hour? I love how they say the Don Callis family has a record of 1-0. Like with all these different combinations. They didn't even let Don Callis do the intro this time, though. That's the other part that I find amazing about this. Now, yeah, like you said, he's going to take some time for the honeymoon. Hey, Mr. Vic, you're here just in time. We're all going to give the little thumbs up, right? I gotta get some new emotes for that. Damn it! This week I'm working on new overlays, and hopefully early next week I can do that. I'm doing good. Oh God, they gave Callis a mic anyway. I'm doing good. Things been a little crazy today. Like day one of vacation's also good as well. So. What'd you miss so far? Hangman defeated Lee Moriarty in a hell of a match. The GOA lost to Brodito in the World Tag Title match. Stat nearly flipped on Renee when she asked if she's associated with the Death Riders. FTR came out to do a promo, got interrupted by Willow of all people. And Jet Speed came to her save. So it looks like we're getting FTR versus... Oh, God, another painting. FTR versus Jet Speed coming up as the next rivalry here. Christian played the I can't do this to my family, I'm going home story. Well, there goes your painting, you jackass. I love that Rocky just died. Why we got a media offline? Oh my God, production screwed up again. Get off. I love the fact that they didn't check the video before they used it. God damn it, production. Ah! Seriously. For all the things they needed to get done, you couldn't fix that for production. Like, for 5 cents, everything's going well, and then that happens. Like, I could understand that media offline thing going on if El Clone was coming out. Well, that far side is the bullboard apron. Like, they're all connected, right? Like, I've worked switchers like that before, and yeah, literally. It's literally 3 buttons. But the fact if you don't check your media first. All right, hologram is out there. All right, we got everybody out here. Oh my God, we got a match. Now, I'm still saying, like, I know it sounds weird, but I still feel like we're gonna get Okada and Orange Cassidy. It feels right. And that's gonna be interim feud, but while Okada's headed over, Takeshita's headed over to Japan. Good old Pittsburgh crowd. Orange gets one of the crowds going wild. Oh, here we go. Hologram and Hichisaro. This will be fun. Even when we go get a couple seconds of it. I wonder when we finally get El Clone though. Almost feels like it might be saying on Saturday. Love how people on X is saying Cope versus Cena. Well, the only thing I could say to that, Cope's contract is up in, 6 days? Technically, he could go wrestle one night in WWE and then come back to AEW. Could you imagine the internet melting if they saw that? That's why I watch these two ladies talk about how they knew Orange Cassidy in high school and their amazement. Oh, yeah. Oh, the ones that couldn't believe that he actually did that. That he was such a class clown and now he's a professional wrestler. So with those lunges, the way that Hichisaro does those lunges, do you think it's a possibility that Hichisaro is the Mexican incarnation of the Iron Sheik? Just saying. Get one of those clubs behind his head. But yeah, I've learned very much so not to deal with a lot of the BS on the internet, because hell, you've seen everything go around. I say he's a Mexican Kurt Angle. Hey, there you go. I'll give you a coin for that. I was trying to think of something Mexican I could use for that, but yeah. But yeah, still to come tonight. Look at that. Look at the matches we got scheduled for tonight. We got Hobbs and Claudio. We got Tony Khan's big announcement, which, if they're doing it now, it's probably the women's tag titles. If they're going to do it before the women's main event tonight, which, don't get me wrong, Mina and Kris deserve that spotlight. It just seems weird. If you just ask me, like, just too many things put together here. Like, it's Tony Storm's best friend. Maybe Tony comes out and maybe she's changed characters again. because apparently there's some reports out today that she wants to run with Juice a little bit more as well. So that could be a thing as well. We never know. So great. Callis is getting his chant during the picture-in-picture. Damn it. That way we don't get to hear it. Oh, the first ad break of the evening. Ugh. We tried to hold it off. We got a good hour, 10 minutes out of it. So, but yeah, with watching everything that's going on here in this match, like we might end up getting a rematch of Hechicero and Hologram, because I think those two met up prior to Hechicero going after Bandito. Oh. The human skid mark, Don Callis. And Hologram once again one step ahead. Wow. Hechicero didn't even flinch. Walked around to the other side, and as he jumped back in the ring, just cranks him with the elbow. That is a very great counter there. Revert Tierras right into a tag. That's the part that sucks. Oh, I thought that was going to be the Blue Thunder Bomb, but no. He didn't clear the field that much. Oh, God. Hologram blow at his knee now. You could tell he didn't land on his feet, and it didn't feel good there. Briscoe might have to carry this match, and he's the one who... How many tacks did he have to deal with? It's funny. Tony Khan said that they were going to call it a match of 1,000 tacks on Saturday, but they really didn't know what 1,000 tacks was, so they didn't want to really advertise it in that, so they tried to use the TNT moniker because it just works out well that way. My counter to that is, why don't you do that on TV instead? My God, I can't wait for that meat match. Hobbs and Claudio. Orange still got to work on getting in under the ring. Why are you hugging Okada? Oh, that's okay. How are they friends? Now, is that jealousy or is that actual tag team work? Oh my God. Could you imagine these two as a tag team in this case? No. Hologram's knee's done. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. They really are going to try and push. They're really going to try and push Hologram right now. Yeah, he can't even move. God damn, that's awesome. Hechicero's just an absolute monster. All right, everybody, time to hit your finishers. Or your signatures, sorry, not your finishers. Never mind. Yep, nope, there it is. Signature. Signature. Ah, good old Callus. Oh, no. Damn. Let's just throw a Mexican destroyer out of nowhere, all right? He's got him. Holy crap. With one busted knee, he still pulled that off. Are you kidding me? I could barely walk, but I got the win. All right, Fletch. Who are you looking for? Are they gonna do hologram and Fletcher? I guess if you're gonna get your first loss, that would be the guy to do it to. Yay! Protostar is here. The injuries, my personal experience, are pretty weird. They never hurt too bad right after you get them, but tomorrow morning you'll be hating life. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like some days my knees, I'll just be like, why am I moving? Couldn't have felt that bad. No, you just looked across the bed and saw Sky there, and you're like, yeah, I'm a winner. Then you looked in the mirror and realized who he was. You notice they mentioned the undefeated streak right before he came out. No, this is how you get your number one loss, of course. Gonna be the 1 and 34 and 1. Could you imagine Hologram winning the title next week? Just because they want to move Fletcher up a little bit? Hologram doesn't say anything. The promos that he does are rather silent from what I've seen. Holograms need dislikes the statement. That will be a lot of fun. So we still got 2 more matches to go and 1 announcement. I got a feeling Tony's going to show up at the end of this. That's a promo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would take that. That's a hell of a fun promo there. I have to say that. No, there's something goofy going on. Either Britt shows up, Tony shows up, Death Riders show up. Something's happening at the end of that main event. I know Britt's the long shot here, but just things are adding up here. Like, and this could also be Tony Khan playing the bait and switch on us, which you can't really blame him because he's never really promoted her at all. So, and the biggest story they're talking about right now is Death Riders, so maybe that's the way that goes, but no, so next week we are getting Hologram and Kyle Fletcher. Does anybody here think that Kyle Fletcher loses the title to Hologram? This could be a moment like when Darby Allin defeated Brody Lee for the TNT Championship. Or no, Samoa Joe, that's who it was. One of those unheralded moments that nobody ever believed that would ever happen. But he did, and that's, very well Fletcher could get it back, but at the same time, have that kind of upset on the card might be a possibility here at this point. Because right now we don't have anything for Hangman, and we're 3 weeks away. We're 4 weeks away, from the pay-per-view on the 18th. So they're going to have to build something up rather quick, which with AEW really isn't that hard to do. It's the one godsend about AEW when it comes to wrestling there. Tony Khan can literally just say, okay, I'm pulling this hat and this hat. Yeah, we can have that match. Like, hell, there is so much deep talent that is available there. So much that you can use. Like, you can get, like, right now we're getting Jet Speed versus FTR as a future feud right now. Because Cope and Christian just taking their time getting that feud settled. But also makes you wonder, like, did Cope pack it in? Is he going to go back for one? Could he be Cena's last opponent just for one match? Could he go back I don't think he'd go back for a year. I doubt it, but you know the internet's going to buzz for a while now because of that, so. Here's the Jurassic Express promo. I do want to see a different light of these two instead of what they were. Maybe they debut on Saturday. I think that might be the case here. Like I said, it just makes a lot of sense to debut on Punk's show. It was actually really refreshing today. Like while I was getting ready to work on stream here a little bit. Oh, next week. Okay. Next week. And the crowd's already doing the dance. Oh, this is going to be fun. Anybody got any chops in the house? Maybe a few roasts? Got a barbecue? We got some meat coming up here. Meat. Tony Storm eats Court in the long way. Okay. Wow, Excalibur getting that English out real well tonight. This is going to be rough. This is going to be painful. But yeah, like, and Zodiac, you were talking about this earlier, and it makes a lot of sense. The Powerhouse Hobbs does feel like one of the breakout stars here in AEW. Interesting that Hobbs comes through the crowd just like Claudio did. Oh my God, here we go. Yeah, this is not going to be a calm match. So is this like Swiss beef here? I'm not familiar with the meat culture out in Switzerland. Granted, when you deal with Compton, I don't know what kind of meat you'd be eating either, so. Who's going to flinch first? That's more what I'm worried about with this match. Not worried about who's stronger, just who's going to flinch. These guys are going to wear each other out in a hurry here. All right, so we got our first match. And you know what? It's the fact that a main eventer is going out to try and make another main eventer next week. Like, Hologram might have that possibility. Now, it's all about giving to that next level, right? It almost feels that they actually get a pretty decent match out of it. You know, you really establish Hologram at that upper level. Not fully buying Hologram. Exactly. Like, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when they finally... I'm guessing now, because of the promo and all that, I think we're probably going to get El Clone next week. It just makes a lot of sense to do that. Both guys are absolutely dead right now. They're going to get a double count out of this. I wouldn't mind a quick double count out. Then we get the announcement in the main event. This is what took Shibata out from Garcia. Never mind. This is how you can get to your commercial break. Have one guy kill himself on the steps. One big possum, yeah. Oh, great. Going into the crowd. By the way, once again, if anybody's asking, brand new cup from GG Subs. The Astrobot one, Astrobot themed one. So if you guys are interested, they do have a limited number available. They don't sponsor me, but I wanted to get something different than a waifu cup for once for streams, so. Oh, there's a commercial for picture-in-picture here. Sorry, just dealing with some stuff I saw there for a second there. My apologies, chat. I don't try to stay off my phone as much as possible as we go here, so. But yeah, just as we're going forward here, and I do think this will probably just get one more segment. Do I think it's going to be a clean finish? Probably not. I wouldn't. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do that. That way we can get to our big announcement. It'll probably be literally just as they're about to announce Mina to come out to the ring. Which means it probably is going to be a tag tournament where the winner is going to be announced at Full Gear. The primary matches are going to start at Wrestle Dream. For me, that would make the most sense to put things together that way. And then you just bring it into the main event, and maybe they just do a clean match. Statlander starts looking like she's turning heel or something. It's just, to me, it looks like once you get into tonight and you look at it overall, there's a couple little pieces here and there where you can determine that there is some rivalries going on, but if there wasn't anything going on tonight in terms of the women's main event, I would probably think they would have done that 6-man tag as the main and have that promo by Kyle Fletcher be the thing to close off the show. So that's what gets my brain intuition going, saying that there's going to be something going on. Because then you have Orange announced right off the bat. You probably have your tech guys figure out what the hell's going on. Maybe hopefully they fix that video for next week. I guess if you're going to attack something on Hobbs, the back would be the best thing. And Hobbs isn't used to be taking off his feet like that. Like gut wrench is straight power. There's no intermission there or anything on that. Well, I forgot we're getting that next Tuesday. Ooh. And I wonder next week, are they going to, or for the 7th, are they going to be taping that for, like, Title Tuesday? Are they taping that for, now Hobbs is just firing off here. Now, are they taping, are they doing Tuesday, Wednesday, or are they doing Tuesday, Saturday? I'm thinking Tuesday, Saturday is probably what it's going to be. It's going to be a tape to perform, but you never know these days, especially with playoffs going on. And normally they do Title Tuesday because of baseball playoffs, but yeah, Claudio just said, nope, you are going over no matter what you like here. Damn. It's getting 2.5. I really do appreciate Danielson's somewhat motivation to stay somewhat impartial at this point. He really can't do it with Mox, but the rest of the guys, he can sort of say, yeah, I can understand where they're coming from. Oh. Gotta love a good old snap power slam after you tried taunt the commentator. Yeah, Claudio, you can point all Danielson all you want after the match. You don't have to do it now. Nice snap slam there. I love how Taz tried to break down the power slam just as, like, no matter what, he's into that super analysis, and I love it that way. Taz, you can just say he ain't selling the back. Hobbs has got the power slam. I think it isn't as smooth just because of the position they were in. But I've always been a sucker for a good power slam. Coming off the ropes. Hobbs just pissed. Claudio, you might want to choose a different method of attack here. Just saying. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, the bastard's back. And he's the ultimate heels because he's wearing a shirt. Like, is it an injury or is it just he wants to look different? I got a feeling we might get Paca Joe next week. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, 4-on-2. Who comes out to break it up? Because Shibata's not there, right? Oh. Why? All right. Could we get Claudio and I would take Claudio with Paige for a main event. That would be a nice match. That would be a very nice match. Look at the PWI list, and number 500 is Serial Man. His tag name that debilitates boys. That's why I don't even worry about the PWI 500 for the most part. Good wrestlers get recognized, but I'll give credit to Mars the Specialist and Michael Allen, Richard Clark, both local talents that have made the PWI 500. It's not even 500 is too much. It's just any number can be too much. It's an opinion, right? And it's a group of people's opinions. It's also a lot of people don't realize it is from June to June, rather than like it's an award that's given out in the middle of the year, which is another talk all itself. So, literally a committee, absolutely, but it's a weird time for them to do it. It works for AEW because it's literally their calendar year for the most part. It's like a couple weeks off from their complete year. But yeah, as we're getting into our main event segment here, want to do this quick because I don't want to miss the announcement here. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Always appreciate it. The tradition here is we always give you a rundown of what's going to be coming up here in the next week before our main event. For those on YouTube, we're going to head over to Twitch. We are going to get our WWE 2K25 My GM Online Season 2 completed tonight. Zodiac's here. Vic is here. PJC I haven't heard, but we'll run it. Terry Taylor's still around if we have been there. Tomorrow I will be here in the morning. We are going to be going through Horizon Forbidden West again. Going to give you a little bit of my thoughts about the Sega State of Play as well as the Capcom Spotlight that came down. And then Friday, I might pop in for a little bit, but I am going to Victory Road. I just got my ticket today. $40 for last row nosebleeds. Works for me. Saturday, I might do 2 streams on Saturday, one a little earlier during the day. We are definitely going to be here for Collision as well as my solo run of 2K25 My GM mode. Thank you, Nats. Appreciate it. Sunday, we'll be here after the Bills win over Carolina. A real win. With some little Mutant Football League. We are 3-2 going into week 6. So we're probably going to get about 3 or 4 games in, just trying to. Are they playing the Aints this week? Either way, the Bills better win this week. That's all I care about. And then probably during the majority of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, they're playing the Aints. That's right. So that'll be a win on the bingo card. So after that, we'll be here. Monday, Tuesday, probably going to get some more Horizon, and I want to see if I can get that done. I'll give you guys a little bit more of a roadmap to my schedule as we go forward here. But once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. If you like what you see, make sure you follow, or if you're on YouTube, hit that sub button, the thumbs up, comment, all that great stuff. Over on Twitch, if you really like what you see, consider subscribing. Everything helps towards the channel, so. All right, well, now they're stalling a little bit. I didn't think I'd actually get that done in time. Washington has the Falcons in Atlanta. Ooh. After last week, I'm a little mixed on that. Okay, Tony. Don't disappoint us, please. T-Bird? Let's go! Women's tag titles! Here we go. I want to see these titles. I want to see what these titles look like. Because he's had them done for how long now? They look just like the men's. I love it. Anna Jay might finally get to do it. Absolutely. I love these. Yeah, absolutely. And it's the fact that I know it's a little bit of, we already know he had the titles made, but the fact that he's actually doing it to people that have been bitching and moaning and complaining and whining and arguing and all that stuff about why they don't have these titles, don't have more exposure for the women, more time for the women, more ability for the women to showcase their skills. The fact that you're increasing the number of titles in your company, it's going to force you to have them on more. Like, yes, I do know that AEW has a lot of titles already, but having one more championship is not going to hurt our feelings whatsoever. And the fact that the titles look almost the same as the men's, so they basically every title looks the same between the men's brand and the women's brand. To me, that is an actual bonus as well. Now what happens in this main event? We could pretty much go all over the board here. I don't think the tag titles are going to be a part of that equation here. Unless Statlander turns on Harley. I'm all about this, but please find a way to drop a men's title. I think they pretty much dropped every title they're going to. Like, they combined the two titles already. And the fact that Tony Khan is such a fan of boxing and the boxing style where everybody has, like, there's 500 titles everywhere. And I don't think they're oversaturated with the title. Like, the only one that seems to be the opposite of the Trios champs right now. And that's what they were trying to set up in that last match. Like, the actual match that was supposed to be today was the Ops versus the Gates of Agony and Ricochet. But because Shibata's legit hurt, couldn't make it, they had to move things around. I love that Danielson literally just, yeah, I want to punch him in the face, but I can't. Is this the night that... Let's put it this way. She shows up. She shows up, she makes an impact. She doesn't show up tonight. I think they're going to be a bench for a while now. That's where this whole women's title match in the main event sort of... That's what intrigues me a little bit here. Because there could be a possibility they run Stat and Baker at Wrestle Dream. Or the anniversary show next week. Because then you get two AEW originals at your anniversary show. I think people were downright... I love to see the women's wrestlers in AEW are already putting on socials saying, I want in on these titles. Nice drop kick there by Stat. Like, I think Stat would be fun both as a heel and a face. Like, Stat's first run as a heel was absolutely horrible. Frankly, with Stoke as the manager. Stoke really didn't do a lot for her in that case. And Stat was sort of the happy-go-lucky heel, which I don't think really helps on anything. No, right now, hey, Nats, like, yeah, honestly, Stat right now is my favorite just because she is that underdog that's done good. I've always been a fan of those that never get the respect that they deserve. Like, she almost started feeling like she was getting to, like, that Undertaker type, where she's the best person not to need a title. That's you when it comes to Shelton? Absolutely. Stat, you don't have to show off that you're the champ. You know you're the champ. All right, we are at our last picture of the night here, so. But no, this run for Statlander is going to mean a lot, even if it ends up being a little shorter. Just the fact that we do have homegrown talent that are a part of the roster that can get the job done. Like Toni Storm, yes, she found her identity. I don't know. I really don't know if it's going to be short or long at this point. I will say this. There is a history of the women's championship reigns being a lot shorter than the men's. Toni Storm aside, all the other reigns that were there, from Saraya to Jamie Hayter to, well, Rio got it for a year during the pandemic. But also you're looking at like a Britt Baker had a bit of a streak there, but nothing too long to hold on to. Nyla Rose, Mariah May was longish. Like it all depends relative what you consider long. Like Toni Storm, outside of a couple months, was pretty much 2 years. Because I think Mariah's run was maybe 5 months in the middle of that. Because, yeah. Mariah May's tenure was Toni Storm, the plot device. It's a shame Deeb never won it. Well, I think Britt buried her that one promo. That was about it. When Britt came out and said, nobody gives a crap what you're saying right now, and the crowd all cheered for that. And Britt was supposed to be the heel and Serena was the face. You notice we really haven't seen Serena Deeb ever since. With all her disrespect, Deeb was more deserving than... Well, fair enough. Deeb is a great wrestler. Yeah. I'm not questioning the... honestly, the wrestling ability of 95 of the roster. Come on, commercial. 95% of the women's roster here in AEW is top notch. Like, where they sit, when the logo is when the best wrestle, where the best wrestle, that isn't an exception. That is the rule. And that includes the women's division as well. Like, anybody that you could really consider not being that top wrestler, I think we've pretty much cleaned those people out already. Soho gave birth to a child just, a month and a half ago? Cool Ange. Oh, there we go. Caster and Bowens versus the Swirl. Commander's back. All right. Saturday's going to be a lot of fun, folks. Angela Parker, yeah. So, yeah, Ruby is, like, her maternity, like, she's still got some time with the... Oh, all right, well. Moxley, Hobbs, and Joe versus the Death Riders. Or Paige, Hobbs, and Joe, sorry. Versus the Death Riders. God damn, that's going to be a fun match. Like, for anybody that said that AEW is going to suffer because of the lack of... Oh, she got caught. Damn. She used the Mina driver. They didn't even talk about it. The Swirl is such a dumb but a unique name. You know why they got her, right? You ever been to McDonald's? It's what happens when you get chocolate and vanilla ice creams put in a single cone. Soft serve. Actually, Renee's the one that came up with the Swirl name. That's what I was listening to Unrestricted with Blake Christian, and he told us that's how they got the name for it. El Clone, yeah, I'm thinking he debuts next week after the it'll be the fact that Hologram's going to be very close to winning the match. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's going to be boom. Statlander, oh no. One night? Oh my God. Could they make this a one-night title reign? That would suck. All right, I got to the ropes, so we still got a little bit of time here yet. Well, Mina and a lot of the other people on the roster deserve it too, but I've always been the belief, and yes, I do understand that the top tag team is in this position right now, but I don't feel that ROH champion should be an AEW champion as well. It's just a rule that I think. She got the seatbelt again. And all she says is seatbelt, probably. And Wheeler's cheering. Oh, and here, uh-oh. And on Zodiac, I feel the sort of same way. I wish they would place a little bit more importance on the ROH roster and the ROH pay-per-views. Stat turns on Harley here. This feels like the moment. Hire Akira. Fuck. If I'm Tony Khan, I understand the positive press that sounds like it, being a victim of all these accusations, but my God, stay out of that controversy. Stay out of that controversy. Let it blow over, then you maybe talk about that. Jesus. I really don't want Harley to die tonight. I really don't. Akira was the ex-boyfriend of Masha Slamovich. Is this actually happening or not? No, Harley's in trouble. All right, I'll take that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, that was some tension building. I love it. I love how that's set up. The Death Riders got punked. And here comes Darby. All right. What elephant gun is he getting? Oh, flamethrower. Whatever. Let's just... Are we going full-blown Inferno match already? Darby's got a... Darby could barely walk, but he's still got a flamethrower. Wheeler, get the hell out of the ring. I asked when they were going to bring the next gun. I guess flamethrower's still in play yet. But I will say this, it looks like Britt Baker's officially shelved. And I mean shelved. And the Death Riders are leaving the same way that Stat and Harley did. Oh. Probably landed TNA. She might not even work. She's a full-time dentist. Where does she need anything? Moxley's smiling right now. Darby and Kris versus Wheeler and Marina. Fucking right. Less bumps in dentistry? Yeah. And the fact that her practice is in Orlando. Where basically she's been on the beach for forever. You could spend all day tanning on the beach except when you had to go to work. I would take that as a win. But no, this turned out to be a hell of a fun night here tonight. Statlander, that little je ne sais quoi, just alter things up that a little bit. Hell of a fun time there. MJF taking a break. Copeland taking a break. The beach is pretty far from Orlando. Yeah, sometimes you want to get away from work. I don't know. Zodiac, I'm not a geography major, okay? I'll just do it myself.
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
But yeah, just not a super far, but a good distance. Fair enough. Fair enough. I appreciate that. But yeah, just a lot of great stuff tonight. We got Orange Cassidy, which is he's back. He's probably going to be feuding with Okada. We got Fletcher versus Hologram next week and probably the debut of El Clone. We got the Ops less Shibata plus Page versus the Death Riders. We got a lot of fun coming up next Wednesday. It's going to be a blast. And just like it's always been a blast hanging out with everybody here. So, but we're going to wrap this up so we can get into 2K25 here pretty quick. For those watching on YouTube, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. That's where we're going to be. We're going to wrap things up on the YouTube side here right now. Next time I'm going to be live on YouTube is this Saturday for Collision. Make sure you stop by. I might even have the new set up here. So if you are interested, please make sure to stop by and say hello. But in the meantime and in between time, join us over on twitch.tv/MikeTheRef and take care of yourself. And always remember to be part of the solution. Take care, everybody. And I'm going to cut the stream out there.